Long ago, there lived a king named Kuber. Kuber was famous throughout the land because he was incredibly wealthy. His grand palace shimmered with gold, sparkling jewels, and beautiful gardens. Visitors came from far away just to admire everything he owned. Kuber enjoyed sharing his wealth. He often gave gifts to others and invited guests to wonderful feasts. But after hearing people praise his riches again and again, he quietly began to think, perhaps no one can host a feast better than I can. One morning, he had an exciting idea. I shall invite Shiva and his family to the grandest feast they have ever seen. He wanted them to leave amazed by his magnificent palace and the delicious food. He immediately sent his invitation to Shiva and Parvati. The palace kitchen then became busier than ever before. Cooks stirred enormous pots over warm fires. Fresh vegetables, fragrant rice, soft breads, colorful fruits, sweets, and every delicious dish they knew how to make filled the kitchens. Long tables were covered with beautiful plates and bowls until the great dining hall looked more like a celebration than a meal. When everything was finally ready, a messenger arrived. Shiva and Parvati are grateful for your invitation, the messenger said. They cannot come today, but their son Ganesha will gladly join your feast. Kuber smiled. Wonderful. Surely Ganesha will enjoy everything I have prepared. He will tell others about this feast after he goes back. Soon, Ganesha arrived with his little mouse beside him. Thank you for inviting me, Ganesha said warmly. Kuber beamed with pride. Come, he said. Before we eat, let me show you my palace. He led Ganesha through shining halls. These pillars were carved by the finest craftsmen, he said. The plates in the dining hall are made of pure gold. My cooks have been preparing this feast for 3 whole days. No one has ever hosted a feast like this. Ganesha smiled politely as he listened. Then he asked, Will you be joining me for the meal? Kuber seemed not to hear Ganesha at all. He said, I really want you to enjoy my palace. As Kuber walked ahead, Mouse quietly tugged at Ganesha's foot. He seems much more excited about showing us his palace, Mouse whispered softly, than about sharing a meal. Ganesha smiled gently. I noticed, he whispered back. Then Ganesha quietly followed Kuber into the dining hall. At last, they reached the great dining hall. Please enjoy yourself, Kuber said proudly. Ganesha tasted the first dish. It is delicious, he said with a smile. Then he tried another, and this one is delicious too. Before long, the first table was empty. The cooks hurried to bring more food. Then the second table became empty. More dishes arrived. Then the third. The kitchen staff worked as quickly as they could, carrying steaming bowls and fresh plates into the dining hall. Kuber watched with growing surprise. I have never seen anyone enjoy a feast quite like this, he thought. Still, Ganesha smiled happily. This is wonderful, he said, but I am still hungry. The cooks searched the kitchens. Every pot had been emptied. Every basket was empty. Every tray had been served. At last, the great dining hall became quiet. There was no more food left anywhere in the palace. Kuber looked around in disbelief. He had wanted to impress his guest with the size of his feast. Instead, his guest was still hungry. For the first time that day, Kuber stopped thinking about his gold, his palace, and the praise he hoped to receive. He simply looked at Ganesha. I'm sorry, he said honestly, I became so busy preparing the feast that I forgot to simply sit and share it with you." Kuber quietly walked back into the kitchen. Most of the great serving dishes were empty. The shining trays were gone. But on a small wooden table, he saw some warm rice. It had been prepared for the palace workers. Kuber took some of that rice in a bowl. He carried it in his own hands to Ganesha. "Rice is all I have left," he said softly. "I wish I had something grander to offer." Ganesha smiled and accepted the bowl. Kuber stood quietly beside him. Ganesha ate the rice slowly. When he finished, he looked at Kuber with a happy smile and said, "Thank you." Kuber looked at the empty bowl. Then he looked at the long dining tables covered with golden plates. The tables had held enough food for hundreds of guests. Yet none of it had brought the same peaceful smile to Ganesha's face. For a long moment, Kuber said nothing. Then he smiled too. "I understand now," he said quietly. "I spent all morning thinking about my feast." He looked at the empty bowl again. "But this is the first meal I will truly share." Kuber brought the remaining rice. He sat down beside Ganesha with his own bowl of rice. The two of them finished the simple meal together, talking and laughing quietly. Around them stood the grand hall, the golden plates, and the shining palace. Yet somehow, the simple bowl of rice had become the richest part of the feast. From that day on, Kuber's feasts were joyful and plentiful. He remembered to sit with his guests, share their company, and make them feel welcome. For he had discovered that people rarely remembered the size of the table. They remembered the warmth with which they had been welcomed.